because the government is introducing a new law. It was meant to have come in last month, and now apparently it's been delayed for a few months, but it is still meant to be coming in, where basically anyone in this country who goes on a website that has pornographic material will have to do like a full age verification check, like send in like a scan of their ID, like a passport or a driving license. Pretty hardcore stuff, right? Bad wording, but it's to see the hardcore stuff, you have to go through a hardcore process, right? And the thing is, right, that originally the government said they would run the system, and people were like, no thanks. No, don't really fancy sending my wank fantasies to Theresa May, thanks very much. Can you imagine her just sort of scrolling through all these different things? I don't know what half of these things mean, Philip. I thought I knew what BBC stood for, but... I'm beginning to think I was wrong, yeah. The less said about ATM, the better. That's just where you got money from. So, right, if you don't understand that joke, please do not Google it. Alright? Please don't do that. But anyway, the point is that they have said that they won't run it, that they're going to ask the industry to run it. So instead of having to send it to the government, people are going to have to send their ID to porn companies. That's kind of worse, isn't it? When I heard about all this, I didn't feel anger or like insulted, or I didn't feel, resent. Basically, I just felt nostalgic because I'm in my late 30s, right? I'm 40. And so I remember a time before the internet, genuinely, before it was really a thing. But I definitely remember the time before internet porn, definitely. The closest thing I had to internet porn growing up as a kid was playing like adult video games on my friends' computers whenever I was to stay. And the most memorable one was something called Leisure Suit Larry. If anyone's played it yet? Yes, of course he has. Don't know if it was based in Sweden or not. Have you played it? Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It's awesome.
It's fun. It's basically like a carry-on film in game form, right? It was a bit sort of sexy and it was a bit naughty, and as a kid that's the closest, so we went for it, right? But the reason I'm mentioning it is because that also had age verification checks on it, but it didn't have, like, you don't have to put your ID in or anything, no, you had to answer a question. And you had to answer a series of questions that they thought people under the age of 18 wouldn't be able to know the answers to. There were things like, I don't know, like name all of the members of the Beatles, or what was Watergate about, things like that. Quite hard questions. If you didn't know your history, you were fucked, right? Or not. And so basically, I think we should introduce a similar system for our teenagers. Obviously, we can't do the same thing because they've got Google. I still think there are a few questions that would stump anyone under the age of 18. How about these? What is a mortgage? Might be a good one. Have you ever left a voicemail? Fortnight, an amount of time or a game? And finally, how floppy was a floppy disk? Yeah, nobody knows that, do we? No one, right? So I think those might work. Now, I can feel there's a little bit of tension in the room. There are one or two men, possibly don't want to admit it, are a little bit worried about this, but don't worry, there is another way you'll be able to get hold of porn, right? Instead of putting your ID in, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to go to your local newsagents and ask for a porn pass, right? Well, I say local. You're going to want to travel. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go to your corner shop for that, do you? You walk in, hey Mo, nice to see you. Yes, it is still working, thank you. I've had 3 lovely wanks this week, thank you very much. Can I have a pint of milk? Thank you, let's go. But my main problem with this whole thing, right, is that the problem is that children are going to get round it because they understand computers. Any kid over the age of about 12 will just download a VPN, get round it, and they'll be sorted. But the only people I think this will genuinely affect are men in their like 40s, 50s and 60s who remember like having to go and buy porn from a newsagent before, so we're just like reintroducing shame for a very specific part of the population. That's what's happening. That's who it's going to be. And I think it's a real shame that they haven't called it something more interesting. They're rubbish at naming things. As I say, governments, they can't do it. Porn pass, it's rubbish. They should have called it something better. How about hard card? Wank warrant? Cum coupon? License to spill? Spermit? Yeah, you're doing that, but you like that. That is going to happen.